What is 2.3 in percent? So to convert decimal to percent, all we have to do is move the decimal point 2 places to the right and then put the percent symbol. So we have 2.3, move the decimal point 2 places, 1, 2, and then put the percent symbol. So therefore, the answer is 230%, letter E. What is 6.5% in decimal? So to convert this percent to decimal, all we have to do is convert this fraction first to decimal. So 1/2, this is equivalent to 0.5. Or we can divide that 1/2. So 1 divided by 2, that is equal to, so just add 0, put the decimal here. 1 divided by 2 is 0. 10 divided by 2 is 5. 5 times 2 is 10. Therefore, 6.5 is equivalent to 6.5%. Now convert this 6.5% in decimal. All we have to do is move the decimal point 2 places to the left, 1, 2, and then remove the percent symbol. So the decimal point will be here and then add 0 here. So the answer is 0.065. And that is letter B. 32% is equal to which of the following fractions? So percent means divided by 100. So to convert this to fraction, 32%, that is equal to 32 over 100. Since the percent symbol means divided by 100. Since 32 over 100 is not in the choices, all you have to do is reduce this to lowest term. So what is the GCF of 32 and 100? They are both divisible by 4. So when we divide both by 4, so we have 32 divided by 4, that is equal to 8. 100 divided by 4 is equal to 25. So the answer is letter B, 8 over 25. What is 37.5% in fraction? So to convert percent in fraction, all we have to do is convert this percent to divided by 100 since percent means divided by 100. Okay, so therefore we have 37.5 divided by 100. Since the first fraction is mixed number, convert this first to improper fraction. So multiply this 2 times 37, that is equal to 74, and then add the numerator 74 plus 1. So we have 75 over 2 divided by 100. So we can write 100 as 100 over 1, and then we apply the technique in dividing fractions. So KCF, K means keep the first fraction 75 over 2. C for change the division to multiplication, and then F for flip. Flip 100 over 1, so we have 1 over 100. And then let's simplify this. We can divide 75 and 100. They are both divisible by 25. So 75 divided by 25, that's equal to 3. And 100 divided by 25, that is equal to 4. Then multiply the numerators. 3 times 1, we have 3. Multiply the denominators. 2 times 4, we have 8. So therefore, 37.5% in fraction is 3 over 8, letter C. Which is the biggest fraction? So to determine the biggest fraction, all we have to do is change these fractions to similar fractions. So let's try if they are all divisible by 30. Since 30 is the biggest denominator. 30 is not divisible by 12. So let's try the next multiple of 30, that is 60. Okay, so 60 are divisible by 15, 30, 12, 6, and 5. So therefore, change all the denominator to 60. Okay, so change all the denominator to 60. Okay, so first 11 over 15. So to make that denominator 60, we need to multiply both by 4. Since 4 times 15 is 60, 11 times 4, that is equal to 44. For 21 over 30, multiply both the numerator and denominator by 2. 21 times 2, that is equal to 42. And then 30 times 2 is 60. So next, so we have 7 over 12. So to make the 12 60, multiply both by 5. So 7 times 5 is 35. So next, 4 over 6. So multiply this by 10. Multiply both by 10. 6 times 10 is 60. And then 4 times 10, we have 40. And then last, 2 over 5, multiply both by 12 to make the denominator 60. 5 times 12 is 60. 2 times 12 is 24. So now, the biggest fraction is the fraction with the biggest numerator. So the biggest numerator is 44, and that is letter A, 11 over 15. Which is the least number? 81%, 0.8, 1.8, 8 over 10, and 0.800. So to determine the least number, so let's convert all to decimal. Okay? So 81%, so this is equal to, just remove the percent symbol, move the decimal point 2 places to the left. So 81% is equal to 0.81. Then we have 8 over 10. 8 over 10, this is equivalent to 8 over 10. So just move the decimal point 1 place to the left. So this is equivalent to zero point 0.8. And then we have letter B here is also 0.8, and letter E is another 0.800. So that is the same to 0.8. So therefore, they are all the same. Letter B, letter D, and letter E, they are all 0.8. So the least number, we have 0.81 here. So we need to convert 1 over 8 to decimal. So to convert 1 over 8 to decimal, just divide. 1 divided by 8. So just add 2 zeros, put decimal here. So this is 0. 10 divided by 8 is 1. 1 times 8 is 8. Subtract, we have 2. Bring down 0, 20. 20 divided by 8 is 2. 2 times 8 is 16. Subtract, we have 4. Add another 0. Bring down 40 divided by 8 is 5. 5 times 8 is 40. So therefore, 1 over 8 is 0.125, and this is the least number. The correct answer is letter C. Which fraction is the biggest? So we have a rule in arranging fraction from lowest to highest. If all the numerators are equal, the biggest fraction is the fraction with the least denominator. So we need to convert letter E to a denominator of 2. So we just divide both the numerator and denominator by 2. So divide both by 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2. And then 26 divided by 2 is 13. Now, the numerators are all 2. So the biggest fraction is the fraction with the least denominator. And the least denominator is 7. So therefore, this is the biggest fraction. And the smallest fraction, the least, is the fraction with the highest denominator. Okay, so the answer is letter B. Kevin's piggy bank consists of 5 pesos and 10 pesos coins. If there are 30 coins amounting to a total value of 240 pesos, how many 10 peso coins are inside? So let's make an equation for this. We have total coins of 30. So let F be the number of 5 pesos, F for 5, and then T for 10 pesos. So the total is 30 coins. So therefore, F plus T is equal to 30 coins. So this will be the equation number 1. And then the amount, amounting to a total value of 240. So we just need to multiply F by 5. So 5 times F plus 10 times T, the total amount is 240. So this will be the equation number 2. So the question is, how many 10 pesos are inside? We need to solve the value of T. So let's solve for F in this equation. So equation number 1, solve for F. Just move the T to the other side. So therefore, the value of F is equal to 30 minus T. And then we will substitute 30 minus 2, 30 minus T in equation number 2. So substitute that to F. So therefore, we have 5 times the value of F is now 30 minus T. Copy the rest. So plus 10T is equal to 240. Just solve for T. So distribute 5 times 30, that is equal to 150 minus 5 times negative T. We have 5T plus 10T is equal to 240. Combine this negative 5T plus 10T, that is positive 5T. And then put 150 to the other side, subtract 150 to both sides. So this will cancel out. Positive 5T or simply 5T is equal to 24 minus 15. That is equal to 9. Just copy the 0. And then divide both sides by 5. If we divide this, the answer will be 18. Since 18 times 5 is 90. So the number of 10 pesos is letter C, 18. 200 tickets were sold at a school play. Students paid 200 pesos each and guests paid 450 pesos each. If the total value of all tickets sold was 60,000 pesos, how many 200 tickets were sold? So let the number of 200 pesos be S, stands for students, and G for 450 pesos stands for guests. The total is 200 tickets. So therefore, first equation is S plus G, that is equal to 200 pesos, this 200 tickets. So that is equation number 1. If the total value of all tickets sold was 60,000 pesos, so just multiply the number of students sold to the price 200. So we have 200 times S plus the amount of the guest is 450. So we have 450G, that is equal to 60,000 pesos. So this will be the equation number 2. The question is, how many 200 tickets were sold? So that is the amount of the number of student tickets, S for 200 for students, and the amount is 200 pesos. Okay, so we need to solve for S. So solve for G in equation number 1 and substitute that in equation number 2. So solve for G in this equation. So put S to the other side. Therefore, the value of G is 200 minus S. And then 200 minus S, substitute this into this G. And then now we can solve for S. Okay, so we have 200S plus 450 times the value of G is now 200 minus S is equal to 60,000 pesos. So just distribute this, or we can cancel the 2 zeros for each so that the number will be lesser. So divide all by 100 so that we can cancel the 2 here, cancel 2 zeros here, and then we have only 1 zero here. So we can move the decimal point. This will be 4.5. So therefore, we have 2S plus 4.5. This will be 4.5 times 200 minus S. That is equal to 600. Okay, and then let's distribute this. So we have 2S plus 4.5 times 2, that is equal to 9. And then we have 2 zeros, so 900 minus 4.5 times S. So we have 4.5 S equals 600. We combine this 2S minus 4.5S, that is equal to negative 2.5, negative 2.5S. And then combine the 900 to 600 by subtracting 900 to both sides. So this will cancel out. This is equal to 600 minus 900. We have negative 300. And then last step, divide both sides by negative 2.5. So cancel this. The value of S is negative over negative. That is positive. So let's write, move the decimal point. So move, and then move also to the numerator. So therefore, we have 3,000, add 0 here. So we have 3,000 divided by 25. Then just divide this manually. 3,000 divided by 25. We have 1 times 25 is 25. Subtract, we have 5. Bring down 0. 50 divided by 25 is 2. 2 times 25 is 50. So just copy the remaining 0. The answer is 120, letter A. A wallet contains 100 pesos and 500 peso bills. If there are 14 bills in the wallet and the total value of the bills is 2,600 pesos, how many 100 bills are inside the wallet? So the total of the bills is 14. So let H 400 be the number of 100 peso bills, and then F for 500 peso bills. The total number of bills is 14, so the equation number 1 is H plus F is equal to 14. So this will be equation number 1. The total amount is 2,600. So just we need to multiply this H by 100. So 100 H plus F means 500. So we have 500 times the number of F equals the total is 2,600 pesos, and that is equation number 2. So we are looking for the number of 100. How many 100 peso bills are inside the wallet? So we need to solve 100. We need to solve the H. Since we need to solve the H, so solve for F in equation number 1. Solve for F in equation number 1. So put H to the other side. Therefore, the value of F is equal to 14 minus H. And then 14 minus H, we will substitute this to F in equation number 2. So substitute this into this F. Okay? So the equation now will be in terms of H. Okay, so we have 100 H plus 500 multiply to the value of F is 14 minus H equals 2,600. As you can see in our equation, they all have two zeros, 100, 500, and then 2,600. We can divide all by 100 or simply cancel the two zeros. So divide all by 100, we can cancel all the two zeros. So therefore, we have left with 1H or simply H plus, we now have 5 here. So 5 times 14 minus H equals, cancel the two zeros, we have 26. Now solve for H, distribute this. So we have H plus 5 times 14, that is equal to 70. Minus 5 times H, negative 5H is equal to 26. So combine the H or 1H minus 5H, that is equal to negative 4H. And then put 70 to the other side. So we have subtract 70 to both sides. So this will cancel out. 26 minus 70. So the answer to that is negative. So subtract this 70 minus 26. So we have 10 minus 6 is 4. 6 minus 2 is another 4. So we have negative 44. Last step, divide both sides by negative 4. So therefore, the value of H is negative over negative. That is positive. 44 divided by 4, that is 11. So the number of 100 peso bill is 11. That is letter D.